Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where you are in the world. Welcome to the very first weekend prep and review. So, the goal of this is to review the trades taken the prior week and then prepare for the upcoming week. And in this case, we're preparing for July 27th through the 31st. All right, here we are in Trading View. I've got a total of 8 trades taken. And so, a total of 8 trades. Only came out with $696. It's not overly high, but hey, green is green. I'll take it over nothing. And I've been trading relatively small as I just got back to work, so trying to ease my way back into it. But you can see I made a quick 560 on FedEx, stopped out a small winner on QCOM. I have a hedge in the VIX. I had an Iron Condor and FSLY, stopped out of McDonald's, stopped out of Facebook and Cisco. If you've been following the market, you know techs all of a sudden got weak, so I stopped out of those. And I currently have an Iron Condor and Docu. And as of right now, I'm not going to dig in and show exactly everything of why I entered those. I initially just recorded that where I was doing that, and then it kind of seemed almost repetitive. But if that is something y'all guys are interested in, if you want me to open this up and show you like how and why I got in a trade or why I stopped out, if that's something that interests you, write it in the comment section below. And if everyone is interested in it, and I will start doing it. But so on my trading plan, you can see like I break it all down after why I entered a trade and why I closed it, things of that nature. And then I'll be more than happy to do it. But first, I want to make sure that there's that there's a crowd that wants to see it. So overall, not too bad. Head on over to reports, like y'all know. I already had the 696. My average winner for the day was 116 bucks. Average loss was only 93. Only a 50-50 as far as winners and losers go, but whatever, I'll take it. Profit vector. So that so I had a 3.5 to 1 risk reward, which is very good, which is how I was able to, I imagine, stay positive for the week. All right, one thing I like to do whenever I'm preparing for the week ahead, I like to come over to finviz.com, and you can go to groups, and then it brings up the last day's relative performance week, and you can see the performance of the sectors overall. Me particularly, I will look at the week and what's happening in the month, and then if I have any longer term trades, I will go ahead and go to the 3-month. The goal here is you see where the relative strength and weakness is, and then in those sectors, and then in those sectors of the stocks you want to find the trade. So like if we look at like one of the leading sectors has been tech, right? So it has been cruising on. Apparently it's not the highest, but it's definitely hitting all-time. The keys are hitting all-time highs again. But on Friday, had a huge hit on it. I believe most of it was the semiconductor section or in industry. But looking at this, now there it was. I was looking at the wrong one. There's the tech, and healthcare got a big hit on Friday as well. And for the week, healthcare was weak. Energy's finally getting a bounce. Seems like everything went defensive. So energy's getting a bounce, consumer defensive, basic materials, utilities even got a little bit of it. So with this in mind, we would want to find trades in either basic materials, because it's up for the month, and it's did good for the week. Financials is doing decent right here, not too bad right there. I am personally going to stay out of tech because I believe money is flowing out and going somewhere else, and that's plenty all you need for a week. Me personally, on the I only place 2 to 4 trades a week, and then just let it play out, and then I reload and do it the next week. So that's plenty of info to get us started. All right, so now I got my Thinkorswim pulled up, and right here we're looking at this at the S&P 500, the SPY. And if you follow me on Instagram, I said something about this the other day, how I wanted to see volume come in. What is going on here? The program will let me draw in here. Anyway, so I'll do this. Okay, so I wanted to see volume come in above that area. And if you look down here, that did not happen. And so how did I pinpoint this level? This is actually a Fibonacci retracement level or extension level from the weekly chart. So I actually, before anyone even touched it, I got this number or this price level by getting, touching that low to that high, and then down to this low, and then it project this level. Now, I'll show you how to do that. There, to there, to there. See? And it projects it right there. And then you come into the day chart, and then that could be potentially why we're having a hard time at there, or right there. So nonetheless, I'm anticipating more chop around this area. So my plan going into next week is I'm probably going to just place 2 iron condors while it chops around, and then just let it play out that way. Getting directional in any time frame seems a little dangerous at the moment, so I will find, or I already found it, was already scanned before starting on this thing, but I have potentially 2 iron condors and 1 vertical credit spread that could be placed going into the week. But this is an important level. If you're currently trading, watch this 323.62 level. And then the Qs. See an increase in volume right here coming in on the downside. Could be a lot of profit taking. See if this level holds or not. If we break below it, we may at least pull back a little bit, but we'll see. The Russell. Just got above the 200s, testing it now. The diamonds, the Dow Jones. And so something to note is like, look, we're still in an uptrend, but things are starting to slow down a little bit. And like gold futures have broken out. One thing to know is like when gold breaks out or goes up, typically the market goes down because it's a form of defense. Same with bonds. If bonds start to go higher, then the market may continue to go lower. So something to watch on bonds. It's about the 170.80 level. If we break above that and keep going, then I'd say market's definitely going to pull back a little bit. But the VIX isn't really participating yet. So, because typically when a big move down is being anticipated, there's a spike in volatility, and you can see that didn't happen. We'll see where we're at on Monday, but the VIX isn't participating yet. But that's enough about the market. So my overall view is I expect it to chop around a little bit longer. We're still in an uptrend, so we may consolidate for a little bit, and we're going into August. It is statistically been tracked that August is what they say, quote unquote, the worst month to trade because volume goes away and things typically move sideways. If you just trade shares and get directional, it can be difficult, but if you know how to sell premium, then you can take advantage of some sideways movement and then get directional again once volume picks back up in September. But we'll see if that happens. It's been a crazy year so far. All right, so I have 3 on my watch. I have Citigroup. This one I find very intriguing. So you can see it's a tight consolidation even after earnings. And this 5150 level, I had to go all the way back on the weekly chart to find this. How it kept on hitting this level right here. Anyway, there it goes. It's just taking it a second. So I got it hits all these points right there. So you see the stock reacts significantly because remember, think about this, every little candle is 5 trading days. So it has messed with it and learned something new. I didn't know this, let's see if y'all guys did. I had no idea Citigroup was once like a $600 stock. Had no idea. But that is where that level comes into play. And so we're right at it. And you see we keep respecting it. And another thing I find interesting is, you see right here, the 5150, this blue line is the monthly point of control. So monthly point of control is basically where all the volume keeps on coming in at that level, and it keeps respecting it. So if we have a significant support level and volume keeps coming in right there, then I may use that as a support level to trade off of. So an example of point of control, you can see how it keeps on hitting right there, respected it right there. It's just another little tool you could put in your toolbox to confirm a support level. But anyways, I may place a credit spread right below it. Looking at it, if I can get maybe 60 cents for it. If I get about 60 cents for it, but for a 10 lot where we'll actually do smallest contract possible. If you wanted to risk 140 of max loss, you can make 60 bucks. So like I said, below 51.50. If you wanted to be a little bit relaxed with it, you can make 51 or even 50 your stop. Well, the 50 SMA is right at 51. So I'd say a close below 51 would definitely be a stop out. So with one lot, you could risk, you see how it says right there, you could risk basically 16 bucks to make 60. Now if you wanted to throw 1400 at it, you could risk 150 bucks to make 600 bucks, and it says it right here when you look at it. Anyways, this Citigroup, but once again, that's directional. I may hold off on the directions and just place these 2 other trades that I have lined up. So SQ, or sorry, ZS, Z-scaler. So what's the setup here? The setup is so if you're not familiar with a squeeze, it's actually a release of energy after. So a squeeze is when your ATR squeezes inside the Bollinger Band, meaning your range is within a 1 ATR move, then eventually energy expels and moves it in one direction. So an example would be, so like right here, you see the red dots, there was a squeeze and it went up. Well, it's already, the green dots indicate the squeeze fired and it's starting to consolidate sideways. So there's no compression of price. So what I am thinking is the price is going to stay within its expected move till Friday. So these lines right here, I already set it up. So the price would have to stay between these two lines going into Friday for me to be profitable. So the way it works is you could go here to your Thinkorswim, look over here where it says the expected move is $7.73, and then you place it. So you can come to your risk profile, and so if you had a 10 lot, you can risk a max risk of 3,500 to make 1,500. If you wanted to look at it from a 1 lot perspective, the way I stop out on these is if it starts to do a greater than expected move. And another thing to consider is, let me add this for you to give you a other idea of how this works. I want to hit the right delta. Okay. So probability of out of the money, that means you want this to expire out of the money. So you want your 129 call, you want price below that. So there is a 78% chance that that option will expire out of the money, and the 115 has a 76. So there is a 76 to 78% chance to be profitable. So that is just the math behind it. So you have the math behind give you the probability of making money, and then you also have the setup, which increases your probabilities of making money. The guy that created the squeeze setup, John Carter, he said is a squeeze after it's fired and is in this phase that I just talked about, there is a 70% chance that it will expire within the expected move. So the probabilities are high for that setup. So I'm looking at Z-scaler, and SQ is the exact same thing, and these are the exact same setups that I'm trading on DocuSign and what I did on FSLY earlier, and how I made those money. So same thing within the expected move between 131 and 112.88ish. Same thing with this profile, you just needed to stay between those levels and you are profitable. Me, I close them about 80 to 90% of the credit received, and then I stop out if it's starting to make more than the expected move. And then we'll look at the probability on this one as well. So 114, 78, 50%, and 130, 82%. So roughly 80% chance of being profitable as well. So that's not bad. If you and it's roughly about 23% return on total capital at risk, which isn't too bad. Now, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe, like the video, share it with your buddies, evaluate the setups I said. If you have any setups in mind and you want to share, please put them in the comment section below, and I would love to look at them as well, see what you're seeing. And like I said earlier, if you want me to actually break down the trades that I took in the prior week, please say down below as well. That way I know there's actually interest in it, and I'll take the time to do it as well. But I guess that is it. Everyone have an awesome weekend, and take care.